Hi, I'm Nagela.
And I'm Angaza.
This is part one of a story about how short solo trips have had a profound impact on us as a traveling couple.
Today, we'll share a few stories as we follow Nagela's journey through Scotland.
We hope you enjoy. So, it's official. I'm going to Campervan for the first time. I've lived in a van. I've done van sleeping, but never actual car that was turned into a home. So I'm very excited, a little nervous. I'm gonna have Wi-Fi here, so I'm gonna take advantage of that and plan my route, download some Netflix and some maybe some audiobooks to keep myself busy, because I plan on going through Glasgow, but after that I plan on just kind of staying in the middle of nowhere. Successful morning. I'm also planning my trip. Rough estimate. I always change what I want to do, but it's good to not know a little bit of what I want to do. So I hit the road, and as you can see, it's tough for me to plan ahead, but despite this, I did my best on this trip. Very close to the pub. The air smells different. Me in my car. I absolutely love solo road trips. I found that it fosters a deep sense of independence, resilience, and strength. It's so windy! Random stops on the side of the road are priceless and give me a chance to check in with Angaza. I'll typically recap a stretch of the trip in a voice memo, talking about something I observed on the road or where I'm going next. On a solo road trip, you don't have to answer to someone else's needs or desires. You get a chance to do what you want to do. And there's something deeply empowering about that, especially if you're typically with your partner 24/7. I slept okay. I didn't sleep amazing. My bed is comfortable, and I got some new blankets and a new duvet set. It was really windy last night. Definitely happy that there's other people around, because when the wind was going crazy at a certain point, I was like, oh my God.
Naturally, when your partner is gone, it gets a bit lonely, especially when you're the one at home and not on the journey. I found that I have to push myself to not be in control of the outcome of Nagela's experiences. I think my mind tends to fixate on safety, but over time I've learned that that isn't fair, and it reduces my interest in her journey to her having to come out of it safe. The reality is that things go wrong, and as men, we get socialized to be responsible or at fault for our partner's safety. But I've learned that Nagela knows how to take care of herself, and yes, she does get herself into precarious situations, but I give her the space to let it play out positively or negatively.
I am officially in Scotland now. The visitor center.
For example, when we lived in Thailand, she left for 2 months and hiked across France and Spain on the Camino de Santiago, all alone. Since I have a partner that is adventurous and values her independence, it teaches me to be more flexible with my routine that drastically changes when she isn't home. I found that I have to be more intentional about being grounded and keeping myself occupied.
Sun came out.
I also look forward to the messages and calls we share. When we have solo experiences, there are unique lessons that we learn about ourselves that would not have happened if we were together.
I can't believe I made it to this campsite. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done before. So I have to connect these cords. So I know it's charging because before it was on normal and now it's on a little above normal. The pop roof for the first time. That's Angaza. Bathrooms. So the plan is to get out there because these people are leaving, so I should leave. So I'm gonna pack up. It's interesting to observe the differences in my cleaning routine when I'm alone versus when I'm with Angaza. one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
One of the things we've always had in common is that we love to seek out wilderness and nature. No matter where we are, we find our little slice of greenery. For example, when we're in Brooklyn, we can spend hours and hours in Prospect Park during the course of a day. However, our differences lie in that she chases green hills and mild climates, while I feel most drawn to beaches and tropical weather.
I had to stop the car again and get out. It's just so beautiful. Even with the rainy and cloudy skies. When we're together, we always stop in quaint towns and visit cozy cafes. But if I'm alone, I tend to find a bookstore or trinket shop to wander around in for a few hours. For example, in Fort Williams, I went into a local kilt shop, which taught me all about Scottish culture and their ancient traditions. I really like this place I'm staying. That's my van. And the ladies at the visitor center is really nice. And they also have street food between 5 and 8. And breakfast as well.
You see, there's a little bridge, there's a gate here, and you can walk along here, or along up to Paddy's Bridge, and then come back along the road and go down the glen. That's lovely.
Nice. Yeah, I might do
Go
that.
down here to the waterfall.
Rainy walk to get food. The sun came out. I'm so happy.
It's always amazing to see someone talk about a desire and fulfill that desire. I have to say that she has taught me a major lesson. I feel like one of Nagela's major strengths is making sure that she fulfills her interests and desires.
I'm actually kind of nervous. I'm all by myself. There's so many people.
I guess a couple of years ago, Scotland kept coming up over and over. And if I'm being honest, my interest stopped at Braveheart and bagpipes. But the fun thing is that when you see something through someone else's eyes that may not have been on your radar, it naturally deepens your interest.
It's quite cold. Making my way to the viewpoint. 20 minutes in each direction.
Nagela brought me into her interest in Scotland when she convinced me to watch the show Outlander. Learning about the wars between Scotland and England to fight and preserve their language and their traditional way of living piqued my interest. It helped me see that there are things that all cultures have in common. We both deeply admire observing history and cultures through our travels. And after all the FaceTimes, I found myself wanting to come and visit Scotland. We've been able to honor our solo pursuits and indirectly foster each other's growth.
Things hanging in the air, suspended in the sky, kind of like freaked me out a little bit. Like human error, like what if the person didn't like do their job that day? And a big part of my emergence into independence as a young adult came from learning to drive. Coming from Brooklyn, New York, having a license isn't necessary. When I got my driver's license, it unlocked so much for me. I would go solo camping, I would drive upstate New York to gemstone fairs, and find any thrift store I could get to within a day's drive from New York City. I'm at my resort! I just have to open the gate. Being able to drive is incredibly empowering and allowed me to pursue my interests in a way I never imagined. If where I'm visiting has relatively safe roads and the ability for me to rent a car to have access to go to a place I'm interested in going, I'm definitely gonna do it. This gave me access to places all over Europe, where I've rented cars and gone on long day trips by myself. It's almost like a wellness practice, where I get to listen to audiobooks, documentaries, and movies out loud against a backdrop of beautiful new landscapes. Yes, this is Scotland. Incredible. When I drive alone, sometimes I make mistakes. I get lost, I miss gas stations, I encounter bad weather, or the GPS goes out in the middle of nowhere. In every one of those instances, I am forced to find the best solution to keep myself safe. When the moment passes, I leave feeling empowered. The world feels a lot less scary at the end of these trips. This is my spot for the night. It's raining right when I got here, so I'm gonna have to hang out inside a little bit until it clears up.
One of the major themes that surface when one of us take a solo trip is our approach to problem solving. Usually, our problem solving is a joint effort, but during times when we're solo, not only do we look at things differently, but we act on them in the way that we see fit as well. For instance, what differs may be how we plan road trips, select hotel bookings, and pick food destinations. Sometimes you can get stuck doing the same thing over and over, but solo trips help us to break the routine, to have new perspectives and grow as people. Also, when she returns, she has so many new experiences and insights to share with me that impact how we relate on our joint travels. For example, when we first got together, I may have been better at planning road trips, but that's just because I had my license first and more hours behind the wheel.
Let me go to the ferry.
But now she brings wisdom to our planned trips together. There are now 3 ways of thinking and problem solving that open up: how I think, how she thinks, and how we think collectively. More solutions give us a chance to choose the correct one.
Aside from just being a female, being Black and alone always elicits questions from local people and fellow travelers, like, what do you do for a living? Or, why are you here? Or, what brings you to this part of the world? I no longer find these questions irritating. I use them as an opportunity for a cultural exchange. When I can learn more about the people and country I'm visiting, and a chance for them to know more about the part of the world I am from, I see that as a win-win. When I visit smaller towns off the beaten path, they especially seem surprised that a girl from Brooklyn would be interested in visiting the oldest pub in New York, or whatever area I'm in. I will never know the full intent of people's questions when I'm traveling, but I approach the conversation with curiosity, and I gain insight into people from different walks of life. Bye, Isle of Skye. It is beautiful. Oh, what a nice, cute little island. It's really nice.
As a person of color, we often feel and observe that the world doesn't like us because of preconceived notions and stereotypes. Racism can be daunting and cast a shadow on exploring new places. However, every time Nagela and I have a good experience, it heals a deep wound. Every instance of positive interactions, genuine connection, and understanding creates hope. Our travels allow us to rewrite the stories that tell us that the world is a scary and unwelcoming place for people who look like us.
Made it to my campsite at Avamore. All right, I'm off to Edinburgh today.
I would be lying if I said I had a deep interest in pub culture. But after Nagela's time in the UK, I was excited to see what it was all about. When I visited the UK for the first time and experienced the laughter, fireplace, and chill vibes, I was reminded of the places where my family and I used to go out to eat when I was growing up.
Something I wanted to touch on was my decision-making process when I travel. In my day-to-day life, I tend to second-guess many small decisions. While big decisions, moral dilemmas, and things about core values, I figure out easy. But the day-to-day is harder. Questions come up in my head while I'm traveling, like, should I have my breakfast now or at noon? Should I fill up the gas at half tank or near empty? Should I stay at a more expensive hotel or save a few bucks with a cheaper accommodation? Being alone positions me to make more decisive and swift decisions. I've learned that my indecisions come from the fear of making the wrong choice. But it's okay to make mistakes and for your decisions to create a fallout. But with practice, I get better at making swift decisions. I trust my gut instead of defaulting to my partner to make a decision for me.
Something that I truly admire about Nagela is that she chases her imagination. Whenever she gets inspired by a book she read, a TV show she watched, or an article her mom sent, I don't hear the end of it. She talks about it and learns more about the place until I realize that she's on a plane heading there. The logistics of her desires don't hold back her ability to dream. She thinks of what she wants first, then figures it out after. My nature tends to lean more on wanting what logistically makes sense, but I've learned to be more flexible and opened up as I've learned from her. I really think my girlfriend is one of the coolest people on the planet. She's bold and brave and makes me consider doing scary things alone.
Look at my view tonight. Oh my God. Oh my God. Scotland, I love you. Scotland. Going to my campsite. By this part of the trip, I was missing him. I always think about taking him back to places that I travel to, and it's like he's always with me. My campsite for the night. There's some sun finally. Sun. At this campsite, I was imagining him walking with me along the beach. Knowing him, he would probably get into the water for a cold dip, while I watched on the sidelines, daydreaming. This is the beach. My road trip in Scotland is coming to an end. I've seen such a varied type of landscape. The people have been great. It's a very peaceful country. I made it. I looped around, had to walk through a nuclear power plant. Won't do that again. I'm tempted to go there, but I think I'm just gonna walk back. Sea glass. Castle. And I'm gonna go down this little path and see where it leads me. Oh, this is beautiful. Castle in my back side. Oh my God. Oh, it's so beautiful back here. This is Earth.
It's not just a vacation, it's a journey of self-discovery. Going solo allows you to find your own pace, unlock independence and your own rhythm. It gives you an opportunity to step outside of your comfort zone to explore new cultures and perspectives, and it also expands your world.
I think choosing where to go and setting my itinerary lets me connect with my inner self. Solo adventures are all about learning and growing through challenges, uncovering strengths I never knew I had. I say, why not dive into the unknown and embrace the discomfort? Last public shower. So, here's the bathroom. Leaving my last campervan site for this road trip, and I'm gonna return the car today. I feel a little sad or grumpy or something, but I guess there'll be more adventures soon. Thank you for joining in our journey through Scotland.
See you guys next time, and like and subscribe!